Every human being is trying to understand life. Some search through religion, some through science, some through pleasure, some through success, some through philosophy, some through distraction. But almost nobody first asks, what exactly is the system that is trying to understand reality? This is the human system. Before discussing truth, we must first understand the machine that is trying to perceive truth. At the foundation of human behavior is survival instinct, the primal impulse to continue existing. From survival comes fear, fear of pain, fear of death, fear of rejection, fear of uncertainty. From fear emerges desire, the drive for more safety, more pleasure, more control, more significance. And from desire, the human mind fragments into multiple psychological forces: ego, pride, greed, pleasure, loneliness. Ego creates the sense of self. Pride creates superiority. Greed creates endless possession. Pleasure seeks comfort. Loneliness fears disconnection. These forces then create attachment, validation seeking, and competition. Humans begin attaching themselves to identities, people, status, beliefs, tribes, and approval. And once attachment dominates perception, conflict becomes inevitable. Internal suffering, external suffering, mental suffering, social suffering. At this stage, most humans never truly think. They merely react psychologically. But then comes something important: free will, the ability to question oneself, and identity, the constructed version of the self. Once humans begin observing themselves, they enter psychology, emotion, logic, and philosophy. Psychology studies behavior. Emotion becomes the language of internal experience. Logic structures reasoning. Philosophy searches for wisdom and existence. These tools together create understanding. And understanding leads humans toward deeper questions. What is truth? What creates meaning? What is purpose? Eventually, all roads lead toward consciousness, reality. And the final question: what is existence itself? Only then does the question of God truly become meaningful. Not through blind emotion, not through inherited identity, but through structured understanding. Before discussing purpose, religion, or meaning, we must first define one thing correctly: truth. Truth sounds simple, but most people never properly define it. Truth is the alignment between perception and objective reality. In simple words, something is true when it matches what actually exists. If someone says, "It is raining," that statement becomes true only if rain exists in reality. Truth is not determined by feelings. Truth is not determined by popularity. Truth is not determined by comfort. Reality does not bend itself around human preference. Mathematically, truth can be simplified like this: perception approximately equals reality. When perception aligns with reality, we call it truth. Philosophers approach truth in different ways. The first is correspondence theory. A belief is true if it directly matches objective reality. The second is coherence theory. A belief is considered true if it remains logically consistent within a larger system of beliefs. The third is pragmatic theory. Something is considered true if it consistently works in practice and produces reliable outcomes. Different systems examine truth differently, but all of them revolve around one core principle: consistency between belief and reality. But truth operates differently depending on what exactly we are examining. Some truths are discovered, others are assigned. Physics is discovered. Gravity existed before humans understood it. Biology is discovered. Cells existed before microscopes. Nature operates independently of human opinion. History already happened whether people accept it or not. These are examples of found truth. Humans do not create them, humans uncover them. But other systems are constructed. Language is assigned. Words only have meaning because humans agree on them. Mathematics begins with assigned symbols and axioms. Laws are constructed by societies. Social systems are human agreements, currencies, flags, borders, status, titles, all depend on collective belief. This distinction matters deeply because many humans confuse constructed systems with objective reality. Wisdom is understanding which truths are independent of humans and which truths only exist because humans collectively maintain them. But even when truth exists clearly, humans still fail to perceive it. The human mind is not naturally objective. It is distorted by psychological filters. Ego creates defensiveness. Humans protect identity more. Emotional bias clouds judgment. People often believe what feels good instead of what is accurate. Fear distorts perception. Humans avoid truths that threaten comfort. Social conditioning implants beliefs before questioning develops. Pride resists correction. Desire overrides reality. Trauma reshapes interpretation. Tribal identity limits perspective into us versus them. Ignorance prevents accurate understanding. Lack of logic creates false conclusions. Lack of self-awareness hides personal flaws. Cognitive dissonance rejects information that conflicts with existing beliefs, and validation seeking replaces truth with social approval. The result is distortion. Humans begin perceiving reality through emotion, identity, fear, and conditioning, not through observation. A distorted mind cannot perceive truth clearly. So, how does understanding actually begin? Understanding begins with observation, seeing reality as it is before interpreting it emotionally. Then comes questioning, the willingness to ask why, then logic, the ability to connect cause and effect consistently, then psychology, understanding the mechanisms of the human mind, then philosophy, exploring existence, knowledge, and reality itself, then self-awareness, recognizing patterns within oneself, then removal of ego, detaching from illusion, identity, and pride. Only then can humans begin understanding reality clearly, and only after understanding reality can humans approach truth honestly. Eventually, the search leads toward the final questions: existence, consciousness, meaning, God. But most humans attempt to jump directly to conclusions without first developing the tools required to perceive clearly. That is why confusion dominates modern understanding. Purpose is not assigned randomly. Purpose is discovered through alignment with reality, truth, and understanding. The search for truth begins when the mind stops defending illusion and starts observing reality.